If you're over 60 and still eating these 5 everyday foods, you may be unknowingly destroying your prostate and slowly shutting down your ability to get and keep strong, reliable erections. I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to warn you because I've seen the damage firsthand, deep inside the operating room. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a board-certified urologist and penis surgeon with over 3 decades of experience helping men reclaim their sexual health and dignity. I've worked with thousands of seniors who suffered for years trapped in a cycle of swollen prostates, weak flow, sleepless nights and fading intimacy, simply because no one told them the truth about what they were eating. And here's the shocking part. Many of the foods they thought were healthy foods they'd eaten for decades were the very ones making things worse. Today, I'm going to reveal 5 common foods that are inflaming your prostate, disrupting your hormones and silently weakening your erections. Most men don't realize how directly their plate is connected to their performance until it's too late. But there's good news. Once you understand what's harming you and what to eat instead, you can take back control. You can reduce pain, improve flow, and even restore powerful natural erections without pills or procedures. And I want you to pay close attention to food number 2. It's been marketed as healthy for decades, but for many seniors, it may be doing far more harm than good. Before we dive in, if you care about protecting your prostate and keeping your erection strong as you age, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss vital advice made specifically for men over 60. And if this video speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. Your feedback helps me create better, more helpful content just for you. All right, let's get right into it. The first food on this list is something found in almost every American kitchen, something many men grew up eating without a second thought, but over the years it's quietly become one of the most dangerous threats to your prostate and your ability to perform. I'm talking about processed meat, and what they're doing inside your body might shock you. Let me start with something that hits close to home for many of us, myself included. I grew up in a household where breakfast meant sizzling bacon, lunch came with a side of cold cuts, and backyard barbecues weren't complete without hot dogs on the grill. It was comforting, familiar, and honestly delicious. But over the years, I began to see the darker side of these foods. Not on the news, not in theory, but in my patients. I saw it in the men who came to me, struggling with swollen prostates, frequent urination, and a quiet frustration they were too embarrassed to talk about. Fading erections. The common thread, a lifelong habit of eating processed meats. Now, I'm not saying one slice of bacon is going to ruin your health, but what I am saying is that consistent consumption of processed meats, sausages, bacon, hot dogs, deli slices, is doing far more damage than most men realize. These meats are preserved with nitrates and nitrites, chemicals that don't just keep your food looking fresh, they transform into compounds inside your body that have been strongly linked to cancer, including prostate cancer. But it's not just about long-term risk. These meats are loaded with salt and unhealthy fats that raise your blood pressure and put stress on your kidneys and bladder. And here's the part that too many men overlook. Your urinary system and your sexual function are intimately connected. When your prostate becomes inflamed or enlarged, which often happens after years of poor dietary habits, it puts pressure on your urethra, interferes with bladder control, and directly impacts your ability to maintain an erection. And the fats in processed meats, especially trans fats and saturated fats, wreak havoc on your blood vessels. They stiffen your arteries, reduce blood flow, and impair the delicate vascular system that fuels erections. Remember, your penis doesn't have a backup generator. It runs on blood flow. And if the highways are clogged, the destination never gets reached. I can't tell you how many men I've worked with who swore they just had a little prostate trouble or normal aging, only to see dramatic improvements after cutting out these meats and switching to cleaner protein sources, grilled chicken, wild-caught fish, pasture-raised eggs. These foods nourish you. They don't fight against you. So if your goal is to protect your prostate, improve your urinary flow, and bring strength back to your erections, this is the first line you draw in the sand.
Step away from the processed aisle.
Reclaim your plate. But if you think bacon is bad news, Wait until you hear what might be hiding in your glass of milk. For many older men, what they've been drinking to stay strong could actually be speeding up prostate growth and weakening their hormones. Let's talk about that next. Now let's talk about something even more surprising. Milk and dairy products, which most of us were told our whole lives were good for us. Growing up, I remember being told to drink milk every day to build strong bones. And like many boys of that era, I believed it. We were sold the idea that milk was a symbol of health. It was on every school lunch tray, poured at every breakfast table. And yet, after decades of treating men with inflamed prostates and declining sexual function, I can't help but ask, what if that glass of milk wasn't helping us, but quietly hurting us? Let me explain. Dairy products, especially in large amounts, contain a hormone called IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1. It's naturally present in milk, but in the adult male body, elevated levels of IGF-1 have been linked to abnormal cell growth, including within the prostate. In simpler terms, that means regular milk drinking could be creating the ideal conditions for your prostate to grow and not in a healthy way. As a physician, I've seen men with no family history of prostate problems experience rapid changes simply due to long-term dietary habits that included heavy dairy intake. But that's not the only issue. Cow's milk and its products also contain natural estrogens, female hormones, which, when consumed frequently, disrupt the delicate testosterone balance in older men. Over time, this hormonal shift can lead to fatigue, mood changes, and yes, even softer erections and shrinking libido. I've had patients in their 60s and 70s complain of persistent prostate pressure, nighttime urination, and even trouble starting or stopping the stream. All symptoms they never connected to something as seemingly innocent as yogurt or cheese. The other factor we often miss is inflammation. Some men are sensitive to casein, a protein found in dairy, which can irritate the gut and promote low-grade inflammation throughout the body. And that includes the prostate. It's subtle but powerful, and it builds over time. If you've noticed digestive discomfort, sluggish energy, or urinary frequency after dairy, heavy meals, your body may already be telling you something. So, what's the better path? Thankfully, it's easier than ever. Almond milk, oat milk, and coconut milk make excellent replacements. No hormones, no growth factors. You can find delicious plant-based yogurts made from soy or coconut that actually support gut health. And if cheese is something you still want to enjoy, try light, unprocessed versions like ricotta or cottage cheese in moderation. Small changes, big impact. Your prostate and your hormones will thank you. But what if I told you the next threat isn't something you drink or snack on? It's hidden in your favorite comfort meals, disguised under golden crispiness and irresistible flavor. It's the kind of food that satisfies your cravings, but slowly strangles your manhood from the inside out. Let's go there now. Now, let's shine a light on one of the biggest hidden saboteurs of prostate and sexual health: saturated fats from fried and fast foods. I'll be honest with you, this one hits close to home. I remember the smell of crispy fried chicken filling the house on Sunday afternoons, or the comfort of a greasy burger after a long day. Those meals were warm, familiar, and for many of us, a way to bond with family. But over time, what I began to see in my clinic told a very different story. Men would come in, proud of their cholesterol numbers, yet struggling with frequent urination, nighttime trips to the bathroom, and the sinking confidence that came from inconsistent erections. They couldn't figure out why. They weren't drinking much, weren't smokers, and had no family history. But their diet, packed with saturated fats from fried foods, fast food drive-thrus, and fatty cuts of meat, was telling the real story. You see, saturated fats don't just clog arteries around your heart, they impact blood flow everywhere, including the arteries leading to your prostate and penis. Over time, this limited circulation reduces the oxygen and nutrients your prostate cells need to function normally. When that flow is compromised, tissues get inflamed, hormones go haywire, and the result? A swollen, irritated prostate and weaker, less reliable erections. But that's not all. These fats also affect your hormones, raising estrogen while suppressing natural testosterone. It's a recipe for frustration. Belly fat increases, energy dips, libido fades, and the prostate continues to swell in silence. This isn't just theory. I've seen men reverse their symptoms in just a matter of weeks after cutting back on saturated fats and switching to healthier oils and proteins. The good news is, you don't have to give up taste. There are amazing alternatives that actually work for you, not against you. Omega-3 rich fish like salmon or sardines, a drizzle of olive oil over roasted vegetables, a handful of almonds or walnuts. All of these provide anti-inflammatory support that helps heal the body and restore blood flow where it matters most. Making this switch isn't about giving up comfort. It's about trading short-term satisfaction for long-term strength, energy, and vitality. You'd be amazed at how much lighter your body feels, how much clearer your mind becomes, and how much stronger your performance can be when your blood is flowing freely and your hormones are in balance. But as bad as fried food is, there's another culprit that's even more insidious, because it comes disguised as a way to relax, to unwind, to enjoy life. It's a habit many men defend, but inside the body it wreaks havoc on your prostate and quietly erodes your masculinity. Let's talk about alcohol. Now, let's talk about a habit that feels harmless, even enjoyable, but may be quietly inflaming your prostate and draining your strength. Alcohol. I'll never forget one particular patient of mine, a retired firefighter in his late 60s. Tough guy, still lifted weights, still played golf. But he came to me frustrated. He was waking up 3 or 4 times a night to pee, his erections had become inconsistent, and despite his otherwise healthy lifestyle, something just felt off. When asked about his drinking, he smiled and said, "Nothing crazy, doc. Just a few beers with dinner, maybe a glass of whiskey on the weekends." But to his body, that routine wasn't harmless. It was a slow, steady disruption of everything keeping him functioning as a man. Here's what alcohol really does once it's inside your system. It interferes with your hormone balance, specifically by increasing estrogen and lowering testosterone. That imbalance is dangerous, especially for older men. Testosterone is what keeps your muscles firm, your energy steady, and your sex-drive alive. When alcohol chips away at it, you begin to feel softer, weaker, less like yourself. Beyond hormones, alcohol also irritates the prostate and bladder, making it harder to fully empty your bladder and causing that constant feeling of urgency, especially at night. Add to that the fact that alcohol is a diuretic. It dehydrates you, concentrating your urine and making it even more irritating to your urinary tract. It's a vicious cycle, and most men don't connect the dots between that glass of wine or bottle of beer and the struggles they're having in the bedroom or the bathroom. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying you have to give it up entirely. Life should be enjoyed, but moderation matters. For some men, cutting back from daily drinking to just 1 or 2 days a week is enough to see a dramatic improvement in prostate comfort, urinary flow, and yes, even stronger erections. Red wine in small amounts may even provide antioxidants, but hard liquor and beer, especially in excess, can be hard on the male body over time. My firefighter patient took the advice seriously. He cut back his intake, increased his hydration, and swapped the nightly beers for herbal tea and antioxidant-rich foods. Within a few weeks, his sleep improved. So did his confidence. But as disruptive as alcohol can be, the biggest threat to your prostate and sexual health may already be on your plate. Multiple times a day. Often, sweet, comforting, and completely underestimated. It's the fuel behind chronic inflammation, hormonal chaos, and a steep decline in both energy and performance. And chances are you had a dose of it this morning. Let's talk about sugar. And finally, we reach what I believe is the most underestimated and most dangerous prostate and erection killer of them all. Refined sugar and simple carbohydrates. It's in the cereal you had for breakfast, the white bread on your sandwich, the soda you reach for at lunch, and the dessert you treat yourself to after dinner. I've met men in their 70s who've never smoked a day in their lives, never drank heavily, stayed active, and yet they struggle with weak flow, constant urges, and a shush life that faded far too soon. More often than not, when we dig into their diet, sugar is the silent saboteur hiding in plain sight. Let me explain what sugar really does. When you consume sweets or simple carbs, like white bread, pastries, pasta, or sugary drinks, your blood sugar spikes. Your body responds with a flood of insulin, a hormone that helps manage sugar levels. But over time, repeated spikes lead to a condition called insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is not just the gateway to type 2 diabetes, it's a fast track to prostate inflammation, hormonal imbalance, and erectile dysfunction. High insulin levels promote chronic inflammation, which causes your prostate to swell and your urinary symptoms to worsen. And it doesn't stop there. Excess sugar also increases belly fat, which produces more estrogen and suppresses testosterone. That's a hormonal double blow. Lower testosterone means lower shoes drive, lower energy, and reduced erection strength. One of my patients, a former mailman, came in deeply discouraged. He couldn't figure out why he felt tired all the time. He was constantly running to the bathroom and hadn't had a strong erection in over a year. He wasn't overweight, didn't drink, didn't eat fried foods. But every day started with orange juice and muffins and ended with pasta or dessert. We cut back the sugar, swapped in complex carbs like oats and quinoa, and added more low-glycemic fruits like apples and berries. 6 weeks later, he looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, "Doc, I didn't know I could feel this alive again." You don't need to eliminate sugar completely, but if you want to protect your prostate, restore your vitality, and keep your erection strong, you need to be intentional. Choose slow-burning carbs. Eat real food. Stop feeding the fire of inflammation. Now that we've uncovered the 5 hidden enemies quietly robbing you of your manhood, the real question is, what can you do about it? Because understanding the problem is only the beginning. Coming up next, I'll show you exactly which foods to eat instead. The ones that actively support your prostate, strengthen your erections, and help you reclaim the confidence you deserve. Let's take that next step together. Final word, if you've stuck with me this far, you already know more than most men ever will about what's quietly harming their prostate and destroying their ability to perform. You now understand the real dangers behind processed meats, excessive dairy, fried and fast foods, regular alcohol consumption, and refined sugar. These aren't just dietary preferences, they are daily choices that shape the quality of your sleep, your bathroom habits, your hormone levels, and yes, even your intimacy. I've sat across from men who were angry at their bodies, confused by what was happening, and deeply frustrated that no one had ever explained the connection between what they ate and how they felt. As men, I've also witnessed the transformation that takes place when they finally make the shift, when they stop feeding inflammation and start feeding vitality. And I want that for you too. The truth is, you don't need a miracle pill. You need knowledge, consistency, and a little courage to break old habits and build new ones. The power is in your hands and on your plate. Start with one change today, then another tomorrow. Your prostate will feel the difference. So will your partner. If this video helped you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what hit home for you. And don't forget to subscribe because in the next video, I'm sharing the top 5 foods that actively protect your prostate and restore strong, natural erections at any age.